Hello everybody, welcome back to our channel. Today in our studio we're gonna have a review on the Sword and Fairy Together Forever review. So, no gamer has the time or money to keep up with every release, even in genres they enjoy. So don't bury yourself up if you never have heard about Sword of Fairy series of the games. The Chinese franchise of RPGs has been involved in Asia since the 1990s, but only recently have the games appeared in the West. Sword and Fairy 7 dropped on the PC this year. Now it's coming back to the PlayStation 4 and 5 and also, as I said before, the PC. No matter what you call it, fans action RPGs and a good storytelling have a little known thread in the store. Followers of the Sword and Fairy franchise have come to know a large cost of recruiting characters. I can say, however, that Together Forever assumes little or no prior experience. While there is a fan service built into the story, newcomers are welcome as they could be. There is still a ton of Chinese mythology and the Taoist philosophy embedded in the game, but having a degree in Asian studies is not a prerequisite to enjoy the experience. Sword and Fairy Together Forever is literally a narrative about the war between heaven and earth. Well, not exactly heaven maybe, but a realm occupied by immortal deities. The game begins with a combat and a cutscene heavily prologued in the realm of demons. Xivu is an important paladin type fighter, powerful monsters. About best, Xivu escapes the other realm where the encounters and a female warrior named Qinshi and her shape-shifting bird ally. From that point, Sword and Fairy Together Forever settles into a long tale in which two distractful clans must set aside their differences to defeat the forces of evil. The heroes must also protect the child who is able to transform into a powerful deity and may hold the key to defending the demons. As the story unfolds, Qixing and Xivu gather a party of 4 characters and begin to explore the quest. Unlike the other turn-based game in the franchise, Sword and Fairy Together features exciting real-time combat. The combat is accessible but exceptionally flexible. It's very easy to switch between the party members and their specific weapons and skill sets. Familiar to the RPG veterans, characters have light and heavy attacks, an arsenal of special attacks that do extra damage with the magical effects. The heat of combat is range and easy to master combos that flow together effortlessly. Sword and Fairy Together Forever is mechanically very much in line with the Western style RPGs. Well, periodically throughout the game, actions flow between cutscenes and the player-controlled combat. In these scenes, player input consists primarily of the quick-time events. Being a story-driven RPG with a primitive characters, players can only cosmetically alter their party with a variety of the costumes. This is not the game with a traditional RPG character creation mechanic. Similar to the Tales of Arise, Final Fantasy, or dozens of other Asian RPGs, Sword and Fairy Together Forever has a central narrative quest and dozens of side quests. Most of these are short and encourage exploration, include some element of combat, and usually tie into the main story. Unsurprisingly, most of the are kill or fetch type quests, but worth doing for the XP or items. While Sword and Fairy Together Forever, early few hours are very challenging and difficulty spike might surprise the players. Consistently leveling is recommended. Sword and Fairy Together Forever is welcoming to new players, but the game insists on the action with the long stretches of dialogue identifies as an Asian RPG. There is nothing wrong with this, of course, as long as you are prepared for the game's deliberate pace. Voiced in the Chinese with English subtitles, the dialogue and story are extremely melodramatic. It's like a little disappointing that the player's actions and choices don't really impact the narrative much. It's easy to feel like a bystander rather than a participant. Sword and Fairy Together Forever is heavy on exploration, and world is exceptionally beautiful, with varied, lush environments in both the early and unreal realms. In general, the game art direction is stellar, with a slightly stylized looks. This game, where a beautiful art designs take the place of super detailed, photorealistic graphics. It's disappointing that the world is quite narrowly gated by invisible walls. Swords and Fairy Together Forever is a linear game, but world begs for open exploration. There are also long stretches of gameplay that consist of travels without much combat or inactivity. While the English subtitles have occasional grammatical errors and sometimes suffer from idiomatic translations, the game's sound design is very good. The musical score is even better. In fact, it's one of the best RPG scores I ever heard. It weaves together elements of traditional Chinese music and tone colors with traditional orchestral textures. It ranges from dramatic combat music to quiet chorus that underscore the game's more intimate moments. The soundtrack definitely rewards a listen outside the game. I did not play the PC version of the Sword and Fairy Together Forever, but it seems to me that by performance issues and bugs on the PS5, there were issues aside from the occasional thermometer shutter in some of the cutscenes and very minor and rare scenery pop in. Everything looked sharp and gameplay was fluid. Well, unfamiliar with the franchise, I was genuinely and pleasantly surprised by Sword and Fairy Together Forever. Although this pacing might frustrate gamers, in the story is worth telling. With outstanding art directions, music and combat mechanics, Sword Fairy Together Forever should appeal to the fans of sprawling RPGs. While the player can sometimes feel like an observer rather than a participant, Sword and Fairy Together Forever is welcoming to the newcomers. It might be still a nice series, but Swords and Fairy Together Forever cements the franchise visibility for a larger audience. So about the good and the bads, its dialogue is heavy, inconsistent or slow pacing, and player can feel passive at sometimes. About the positive moments, it's beautiful art direction and music, engaging combat and well-written narrative. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget you guys to comment and subscribe. Have a good one. Bye bye.